Yes, sir. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RegDolla. Welcome back to the Golden My NBA series. And we have a lot to unpack in this episode. We're in the final day of the regular season. A whole lot of playoff implications still left on the line. So in this episode, we about to go through the standings in both conferences, take a look at the rookie class and see how they was doing. My top five candidates for every award. Then we're gonna simcast the last day, reveal the awards and all NBA teams, and then finally we're gonna do the playoff preview and playing games. Well, preview the playing games. The next episode we're gonna play the playing games. And also got to show love to the last mock draft, you feel me, since the end of the season. Take a look at that. But without further ado, their social media page is a whole lot of meat riding going on with the Denver Nuggets. But they are the team to beat. They are the team to beat. Best record in the league and defending champs as well. But we're going to take a look at the Eastern Conference. The team that overachieved the most. And if Johnny O'Brien doesn't get Coach of the Year, we're going to have a problem. We're gonna have a problem. From getting the number one pick last year, how much wins they had? They had 34 wins. They weren't like the worst team in the league, but they got good lottery odds. But still, from that to the biggest change really only having is Reggie Mack. That's how good this guy is. That's how special this guy is. 22, 7, and 6. Day one, you see the impact. Number one seed. Like they had to be contenders at this point. Like you just gotta respect it. And then the Cavaliers, who made it to the finals last year, 52 and 29, they got the number two spot on lock. Philly is still here, but we ain't feeling Philly. They not. They pretenders. The Miami Heat, on paper, this squad look alright, but like it's still nothing crazy. But they could be a competitive team, tough out. And the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks, the Bucks have been battling injuries basically the whole year, but they're not safe. They're not safe. They could very well still be in playing game. They're one of the teams that's, like I said, a lot of playoff implications on the line. The Bucks, the Pelicans, and the Hawks are all tied. And the Hawks, they've been wilding in the second half of the season too, because it was around like a 500 team. And moving down to the standings, you also got a battle for the ninth and 10th spot. That's still not on lock. The Charlotte Hornets ended up being 500. They ended off the season on a 5 game win streak. The Chicago Bulls surprisingly around 500 as well. They had the number three pick in the draft, and Jeremy Goodson, he showed up too. I'm not even gonna lie, we gotta put some respect on his name too. Similar type of numbers to Reggie Mack, not as good as a defender and not as good as a playmaker, but 22 a game, 55% shooting, and this also DeAndre Ayton going down for the whole season as well. And you know what's crazy? When I was doing the Sincast for DeAndre Ayton, bro really got injured the last play of the game. The last play of the game, he like dislocated his patella. Like you know how sick I would be if I got injured like the last play of the game. But they're out of there. They don't got no real center. They got Trendon Watford playing at five. Well, he had really like a backup five, but Day'Ron Sharp, yeah, not a good team overall. Orlando, they was like a top four seed at one point. They started to slide. But moving on, actually, we could take a look at the bottom of the conference. The Pistons, I think they lost Cade. We could take a look at the injuries as well, because that's going to play a huge factor. Because I know a couple people is injured. A couple stars might be injured for the playoffs. The Louisville Badgers, they was generationally bad in the second half of the season. The tank was real. They ended up having like the worst record in the league. The tank is real. And they got some talent. I'm not gonna lie. I like Devontae Tucker. He averaged 18 a game, 18 and 8, so that's solid. Shea Holloway, the other first round pick they picked up, averaged about 12 a game. Johnny Davis showed a little bit of life. D'Angelo Russell, robbing his career a little bit, could be a trade chip down the line. So that's solid. It's a starting point for them. But they were horrible, and they have the best odds again, the number one pick. Disappointing teams, Toronto Raptors, they stink. I don't know what it is. They got Cat. Well, Cat and Scoot Henderson just haven't been able to stay healthy at all. Cam Thomas getting his game off though. Shout out to him. But take a look at the Western Conference at the top. Yeah, the West is definitely better than the East. The West is definitely better than the East. The Nuggets won 61 games. You got the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, they're definitely gonna win more games than this. They'll probably be the number one seed, but 58 games for them. Memphis got 51. Memphis, Clippers, Golden State, so they're really kind of on the same tier. The Rockets are the biggest overachievers in the Western Conference. The biggest addition was hiring Dave Yeager as a new head coach, and he turned them around. They ended up being like a top 10 defense or something like that. Oh yeah, we definitely got to take a look at defensive ratings and the scoring leaders and all that. But they had a top 10 defense and not really too crazy change. They added Markelle Fultz, but they had Lonzo Ball last year and he ended up leaving. Other than that, I guess it was really the culture change had to be the biggest impact. And Jalen Green took the lead. He took another lead. 27 a game he averaged. Dallas is a playing team, but that's gonna be tough. Dallas, so it could potentially be Dallas and Phoenix, first round of the playoffs, and that's not an easy matchup at all. Kyrie, Luka Doncic, Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green, and Draymond and Dylan Brooks really hate each other in real life. So that's kind of funny they're on the same team. And Minnesota Timberwolves, 47 wins. They struggled in the beginning of the season, but started to figure it out in the second half. Anthony Edwards, that guy, ended up averaging 29. I don't think he was really doing nothing crazy before. I feel like in the beginning of the season, he was only averaging like 25. But he averaged 29 basically the whole year. And then, nah. OKC barely finished over 500. Shame on them. Shame on them. They dead almost missed a play-in. I thought they was about to be a top 3 seed. Rich Mac, I don't know what's like this team. I think I know what it is. Mark Dagnall or whatever the hell this name is. He gotta go. If they don't make the playoffs, he coaching for his career. It's about to be the most important 2 games in the play-in. And they got the Portland Trailblazers in the first round. I don't know, man. Sacramento, dog, I don't know. They still didn't make the playoffs in this. They down bad. The Lakers, it was solid at one point, but they started to slide. Nothing wrong with that. They lost AD. San Antonio Spurs wasn't too crazy. And then looking at the rest of the teams, ain't nothing to really talk about. All right, now let's take a look at the greatest rookie class that ever was. Dog, look at these numbers. We got like 9 candidates. We got 9 Rookie of the Year candidates on any given year. And it starts with the top. Rich Mac, he got it on lock. He averaged 28 and 11, and OKC only went 42 and 40. They had like a top 5 bottom defense. Shot 71% from the field. Danny Tyler, second leading scorer in the class, averaged 23 a game. And the efficiency was like that, 45, 41 on 9 attempts, 88 from the free throw line. Rich Mac shot 10 free throws a game. I don't know why he's shooting 3. He's shooting 15%. That's not your game. Reggie Mack, 22 games. And some of these guys, like the guys at the top, they stayed healthy. Shout out to them. About to basically, we got 4 guys about to play all the games. That's tough. 22, 7, and 6 for Reggie Mack. We know what he about. Jeremy Goodson, we took a look at his numbers. Also, this is what I wanted to look at. The progression like past All-Star Weekend. So Rich Mack post All-Star Weekend averaged 31 and 11. Danny Tyler's numbers didn't improve too crazy. Reggie Mack started to improve. So sometimes you see the rookie wall happen. And sometimes like these guys just start to figure out the league. 24 game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Like, y'all think Reggie Mack is a superstar in year 1? Because the record that they got, I don't know. I don't like throwing around that superstar. Like, I reserve it. There's only about, like, 6 or 7 superstars usually on it in, like, a given year, really. Like, a guy could be the best one on a championship team. You think he could do that in year 1? Jeremy Goodson been level. They both been like day one stepped into being that guy on their team, and they ain't fold. Like with DeAndre and leaving, well, again injured, he leveled up his play and stepped up and put more on his plate in year one, and started averaging 24 post All Star weekend. Mo Davis had a really good steady rookie year. Austin Mack was hooping. Scott Kane, this guy's interesting, very interesting. Uh, there's a lot of times he was coming off the bench, it was starting. It was a lot of mix up with him and Colin Sexton in the lineups, but he might be the guy. Him and Laurie Markkinen, they terrible, but they just need a couple of pieces surrounding them because I really like that core. Well, those two. Average 20, 19 as a starter, 11th pick. Whew, so much talent in this class. We could run through a few more. Jabari Mack started level up his play a little bit. That's all you want to see, like the progression in these guys. Like as a year goes on, Rico Ryder started to get a little bit more minutes, average 14 a game. Let him cook. Kyle Beacham, you wanted him to get to at least over the 10 points. Over the 10 points, and that's what he was doing, averaging 12 a game, 8.5 assists. The efficiency wasn't there, but it's good. It's going to be a work in progress with them. A work in progress with them on the offensive end. Let's take a look at how much guys average double-digit points. It's definitely a record. 20 guys average double-digit points. And Dustin Day, he could. I don't know if he could get to that. If he could get busy in the last game or something. If they do got a last game, if he could get to that marker. But this rookie class is stacked. Real quick though, we could take a look at the top offensive teams and top defensive teams before you take a look at the awards. Or my top 5 candidates for awards. And the Cavaliers had the best offense at the 120. That's OD. The New York Knicks was a surprisingly 118.8, number 3 in offensive rating. The Mavericks also up here. The Nuggets, Hawks, Thunder. Damn, their defense is awful. Their defense is awful. Suns also in the top 10 as well. Let's look at the worst teams. Offensive rating. San Antonio Spurs, they got to do something about that. They got Victor. They got some type of offensive talent, but that's pretty bad. The Bucks were surprisingly bad, but they had Middleton out for a portion. Giannis also got hurt, so I kind of understand it. And then take a look at the top defensive teams. The Clippers had the best defense, and just looking at the personnel, basically, it tracks. And no real they're not really playing well defensively, but they got Alex Caruso, T.J. McConnell. He go dig a little bit. He just a pest defensively. Kessler Edwards, solid defender. Kawhi and PG is 2K, so they could be great defenders on a night in and night out basis. And they actually play most of the games this season. They got Zubac as well, Kendrick Williams, Dorian Finney-Smith, best defense in the league. Surprisingly, I don't know how the Nuggets had the second best defense. With Jokic at the helm, the Miami Heat at the top, the Suns, the Knicks is also up here, the Bucks. The San Antonio Spurs, is, despite being one of the worst offensive teams, a top 10 defense. The Rockets, like I was saying before, they ended up being in the top 10 defensively. Grizzlies, Cavs, and then the worst defensive teams. Sheesh. The Utah Jazz, the Pacers, the 4th worst team, the Thunder, and then you also got the Hawks surprisingly at 5. You got AD being the anchor. But Walker Kessler anchored this defense, and it looks like it's a layup line, or they get whatever they want. But let's take a look at our top 5 award candidates. Before we get to Simmons, we also gotta go through some heartbreaking news. Jalen Brunson ended up rupturing his Achilles a couple days ago. Before this point, and it's rough, man. Rough. That's definitely gonna impact them having a run that they want to have. Yeah, 4-11 this happened. So this is like a couple days ago. Where we at? Like the 13th. So that's tough. Big loss for them. Not gonna be able to fill their shoes. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Gonna be interested to see what's gonna happen. Without further ado, let's get into the Simmons. Charles Bassey. Yeah, we don't really care about that. All right. Kings and Cavs. So I think the Cavs got number 2 on lock, and the Kings are out of here. But this for the vibes. For the vibes. Let's see what they got in the last game. Can they end the season on a good note? Donovan Mitchell, he got his game off. Him and Darius Garland a little bit banged up going into the playoffs. He got his game off. On the other side, 40 and 42 just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough for Sacramento. Next game, we got the Knicks versus the Badgers. And they insert Quentin Grimes as a starting PG, but you got RJ Barrett that could handle ball handling responsibilities at times, and also Reggie Mack that can handle ball handling responsibilities. So, damn, they really lost Jalen Brunson. That's tough. And ruptured Achilles, that's like the worst injury possible. Worst injury possible. But this is the worst team in the league, and they about to beat on them in the last game of the season. They smacked them boys. 31, 8 and 5, 3 steals and 3 blocks by Reggie Mack. And he's going to his first playoff series. That's gonna be tough. Who was that 1 of 10? Damn, Trey Man stunk it up. Pelicans and Jazz. Pelicans need this win. They need this win if they want to stay out of the play-in or potentially stay out of the play-in. I don't know if it's guaranteed or not. With yeah, it's cooked. Never mind. It's cooked for that. They gave up 156. 49 in the first, 48 in the fourth. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. 34. Also, Zion is out for this team as well. I'm so dumb because I was really going to run through the rest of the injuries, but after just going through that Jalen Brunson one, I just forgot about the rest of them. Definitely got to take a look at more injuries, at least with the top guys. Zion got a sprained ankle and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, so that's a little bit of a minute. And then just a lot of nothing too crazy for the other guys. They just banged up really. Sprained MCL for Donovan Mitchell, and he's still playing a regular season game. It's crazy. Cade Cunningham was out for knee tendonitis for a minute. And like I said, these two cannot stay healthy. Scoot Henderson and Karl Anthony Towns, they just always injured. Back to the Simmons. Who play next? Who next jump in? Let's go. Hey. The Suns and the Raptors. Yeah, the Suns, they about to cruise to this victory. Cruise to this one. 35 and 9. Tyus Jones only missed 2 shots. Get right, Tyus. Nah, the Suns, I think they can make a deep run. They've been hooping all year. D Book, he was going crazy before he got injured. Averaged 33 a game. But I don't know if he played enough games. That's tough. Spurs and Bulls. I think the Bulls need to win this one. Yeah, because I think the Hornets are just sitting right outside. So if the Bulls win this, they definitely secure the spot. And they don't win it. Wembanyama didn't even go crazy. He was definitely going crazy against Rich Mack and them boys, though. Near triple-double by Kyle Beacham. On the other side, Jeremy Goodson didn't shoot too well, neither did Nick Smith. So what does that mean? Oh. Hold on. So that means the Hornets might be in the play-in. Nah, the Hornets, like, they was really out of it. I thought they was cooked. But they started just winning games out the blue. Where they schedule at? Like, this stretch right here did wonders for them. Did wonders for them. 4. So they won 9 out of the last 11 games. You know, if my quick math is right. 9 out of the last 11, and I would not have predicted that. Even though their schedule sweet? Nah, it don't matter. They did it. So I don't know. 2K be weird sometimes. I don't know if it's secured or not. So they might be out of the plane. The Force and the Bucks. I think the Bucks need this one. Is Giannis? Yeah, Giannis is playing. Yeah, this sweet. This game was sweet. Giannis 39 and 14. The Nets and Pacers. Both lottery teams. Both lottery teams. Derek Lively actually started getting minutes for this Nets team. They got a decent young core. You know, they got the Duke Brotherhood members out there. 27 for Derek Whitehead. How we doing his second year? 15 a game, so he upped his scoring OD. Didn't get too much playing time last year for OKC, but he back in his element. Reek is back in his element. Now the Mavs and Vancouver. I think the Mavs was locked in. Oh my god, yeah, they getting smoked. Oh, they about to make a comeback. Oh, they made a comeback. At third quarter, did wonders for them. Third quarter did wonders for them. 32 and 10 for Luka. Was Kyrie always hurt? I don't know. The Spirits taking on the Pistons. Two lottery teams again. Let's see if Carlton Davis is about to get his game off. Let's see what he got in his last game of the season. They be running it up. I feel like every game somebody got to drop 40 in a quarter as a team. The Heat and Lakers. The Heat got a secure playoff spot. A secure playoff spot. They're not in the playing. And they ended up coming back, but they ended up losing. Game winner? A go ahead? Something? Oh, nah. None of that. None of that. AJ Griffin had 26, though. On the other side, Julius Randle, 28. Nah, that Julius Randle game winner the other night was crazy. Imagine getting gamed by Julius Randle. Las Vegas taking on Golden State. Las Vegas made it a little bit interesting, but they lost. And I think it might be a good time to check the seeds if anything changed. All right, so yeah, I don't think anything will really change right here. The Celtics didn't play yet, and the Hawks didn't play. So we gotta see how those two games go. I don't know if they play each other or not. And the Magic game too is also big. Whoever they play, the Magic and the Sixers. So this is a must-win game for the Magic if they want to secure. Oh Lord, that's a horrible start. Horrible start. They not about winning. They didn't even show up. Yo, there's no way. They got obliterated is a great term. They got obliterated. 32 for Tyrese Maxey. Stomped on them boys. Zach LaVine, no order, 7 and 19. That's how you coming. Paulo had 24 and 10. But plus minus was a minus 26. Lord have mercy. What the hell happened? So are they out? Let's check that right now. Oh, it looks like they still in. So they cooling. But I think Charlotte has a home court advantage in that playing game though. Clippers, Sonics. Best defense, only holding on to 102. Paul George with 32 in the game. And we got two more games left. The Hawks and Celtics play each other. Big game. Final game of the season. Is there any injuries for this team? Oh, Kyle Kuzma ended up being out for the season for this roster. Yeah, dude broke his forearm. Can only imagine what happened. Broke his forearm out for 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. That's a tough blow. And yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't believe in the Hawks. They gotta show me. They gotta show me. Even though I hate the Celtics, had a feeling that they was gonna win. 33 by Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum near triple double. Malcolm Brogdon 22 and 10. AD had 32 and 12. Okay. Playing. Say hello to the playing. So that puts Boston matching up with the Heat in a 4-5 matchup. And the Bucks at playing the Sixers. And that moved the Hawks all the way to the eighth spot. So they gonna be on the road against the Pelicans. But no Zion though. So keep in mind that. No Zion. And we got the last game of the regular season. Portland Trailblazers taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then we about to reveal the awards in this joint. Trailblazers, they smacked them. Damn. Hella blowouts in the last game. Josh Minot, surprising 26 points. Dame with 35. It's time to reveal the awards. The MVP award goes to Nikola Jokic. Had the best record in the league. Averaged nearly a triple double. This is his third one that he wins. Rookie of the year, obviously, it was Rich Mack from the start to finish, just dominated and letting that. Sixth man of the year ended up being Norman Powell. Was a sixth man, started off in Charlotte. Great six man over there. And to Denver, another really good six man. And they also have Bones Highland, so they got hella depth. And for the Nuggets squad, defensive player of the year, gave it a Bam. Anchor one of the best defenses and actually do so much on that end. Shout out to him. Most improved, AJ Griffin, most improved player of the year. And they better not have done it. They better not have hold Johnny O'Brien out of his well-deserved Coach of the Year. Let's take a look at the Coach of the Year. Dog. You see what I mean? They gave it a Mike Malone. And you can't even change it. They gave it a Mike Malone. How did Johnny O'Brien not win that award? Overachieved. Best record in the Western Conference, in the Eastern Conference. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. But let's get into the All NBA teams. You hear me? All right, let's run through the All NBA teams. You got Luka Doncic making first team, alongside John Morant, 29 and 10. Jason Tatum averaged like 32 a game on 50, 40, 90 shooting. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a little bit of a down year that you could kind of say on him, but still really impactful. And then obviously MVP Jokic. Second team, you had Kawhi Leonard, averaged nearly 30 a game. This is his best season, best regular season by far of his career. Devin Booker definitely would have been first team if he played more games, but averaged 33 a game. Zion Williamson, 29 points per game, 8 rebounds on 67% shooting, just keeps getting more efficient for the field. Brandon Ingram also had an elite year. Rich Mack, second team as a rookie, really impressive. And then third team, Donovan Mitchell making the spot, averaging 29 a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, high efficiency on one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, the second best team. Trae Young averaged 29 and 10 assists. Paul George 26, 6 and 6 on one of the best teams in the league in the West. Pascal Siakam as a forward spot, 23, 7 and 6, and Anthony Davis as the last one for the big, 28 and 11. And there's a lot of snubs. I'm not gonna lie, like at the guard spot, but it's hard. It's tough to make it in the guard spot. You can make a case for Anthony Edwards, average 29s, around like 7 and 5 if you want to round 7 and 6 if you round out. LaMelo Ball 26 and 11, but the team success plays a factor into him not getting there. Jalen Green though, average 27 a game, wasn't recognized as that, and the team that had the number one seed in the Eastern Conference didn't get anybody. Reggie Mack, he had a phenomenal season, but probably if you want to be MVP, All NBA, you gotta average at least 25 a game. But he's gonna get there soon. Jaylen Brown averaged 29 a game and didn't even make it. Like so much people at the guard spot. Then for the forwards, you could make a case about Paula Banchero, Evan Mobley possibly with his defense, Julius Randle maybe. Other than that, not too much snubs. But let's take a look at the plans. No way, I just did that. I just did some nut stuff, but damn. Now I gotta find where we could find the rest of the awards. I'm over here getting ahead of myself and stuff. Look at me. Now we gotta run through it like this. All defensive team. Reggie Mack made an all defensive team. Alex Caruso, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jaren Jackson, Bam Adebayo. Alex Caruso held his opponent to less than 40% shooting, and that was one of the best at the guard spot. Reggie Mack as well was around like 41, 42%. One of the best defensive teams in the Eastern Conference. Well, not in the league. Lockdown defender, disruptor, could play the passing lanes, really good help defender, smart, and then the front court basically speaks for itself. Giannis, Jaren Jackson, Bam, and then the second team, Kason Wallace and Kason Wallace, Evan Mobley, Kawhi Leonard, R.J. Barrett, and Victor Wembanyama were the next group. And R.J. Barrett, he turned into a lockdown defender. He locked in, and he had one of his best his best defensive season of his damn life. Like, he held his opponents to less than 40% shooting as well. Could have made it. Actually, what am I saying? I was about to say he could have made a case for first team, but he definitely ain't making over Giannis and them. But he locked up. Kason Wallace, well deserving. Kawhi turning back the clock a little bit. I don't know what he been injecting in them damn knees and stuff, but he back, looking in his best form. Then the all rookie teams: Rich Mack, Reggie Mack, Danny Tyler, Carlton Davis, and Mo Davis. This definitely looks wrong. I don't know how Jeremy Goodson ended up on the second team, but that is so weird. Whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. But looking at the playing games, we got Dallas taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Thunder taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Then on the other side, the Pelicans and Hawks. That's going to be a good one. The Magic and Hornets. And the games that we had, the 4 or 5 matchup, the Clippers and Warriors. Man, that's throwing it back to like 2013 when they used to go at it. Like 2013, 14, when they had that little rivalry. Memphis versus Houston. That should be a good one. Jalen Green. Let's see what they about. Because like, it's still shocking to me how they made it to the playoffs like that. And now, like, playoffs. They not been in the play-in. Like, they here. They locked in with it. And the Suns waiting for whoever they got on the other side. 4 or 5 matchup. The Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. They very familiar with each other. And then you got the Sixers and Bucks. It's going to shape out to be a good playoffs. If you made it this far in this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I haven't decided if I'm going to play every single game in a play-in, but you'll find out in the next episode. As always, stay safe, be goated, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.